Coming up on Mountain News this morning, one Ohio family is desperately looking for answers after their 13-year-old suddenly became paralyzed. And back here in the mountains, we talked with one Pike County family who lost their home to a fire last week, who say they are thankful no one was hurt. Plus, the Letcher County Sheriff's Office is working to get those struggling with addiction into rehab and recovery.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 5:33 on January 13th. I'm Madison Pergram, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning on this Monday morning. So we had a roller coaster weather last week. Let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon, you're saying we might get some wintry weather, more feeling like cold, and we can wear coats and hats.
Right,
and
temperatures.
And
Don't when you use wintry weather, people think snow, but no, just
the
cold. There you go. Everybody's excited for that S word, but not this week, at least not in the foreseeable future, next 7 days anyway. Let's take a look, see what we do have on the forecast plate today. We see a little fog this morning, even though it's not showing up on those sensors. It's out there, trust me, you can see it. And for yourself outside the WYMT studios this morning, it is thick and dense, almost zero visibility here in town. 39 in Hazard, 32 in Somerset, 48 in Logan. That's your range this morning. So anywhere between the freezing mark and close to 50 degrees, kind of a wide swing this morning. I went 40 for the morning temperature rather, because that's basically in between all those numbers there. We'll get to 60 this afternoon. The clouds will start to increase after we head through a foggy morning there, heading into the afternoon hours. I'll talk about the extended forecast here in just a little bit. Madison.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, one Ohio family is desperately looking for answers after their 13-year-old became suddenly paralyzed. Bob Jones reports.
Acting surprised. It was Christmas Day, and we opened presents.
It's a smart TV!
It was a joyful Christmas morning for 13-year-old Isabel Kirby, her twin sister, brother, and their parents. But by Christmas night, the Cloverleaf Middle School student and catcher on her softball team noticed her legs felt weak. And then it got worse.
My legs went in like this huge, big pain and then went numb like that.
I just thought, oh gosh, it's just growing pains, a Charlie horse.
By the next morning, Isabel couldn't walk, a happy, healthy teen suddenly paralyzed from the waist down.
We can't comprehend it. This doesn't seem real to us.
Put this hand over on this wheel or on the seat.
Isabel has been at Akron Children's Hospital ever since, now working with physical therapists, and she's received steroid and plasma exchange treatments.
It did give me hip movement and sensation.
Doctors are not sure if she'll walk again, but the courageous girl with the radiant smile is staying positive.
It's like your own story. So you could walk again. That's what we're hoping and stuff like that.
First of all, it's just heartbreakingly tragic, absolutely.
Isabel's diagnosis, acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM, is a rare neurologic disease which causes inflammation of the spinal cord.
This is a 1 in a million type of likelihood of this happening.
Doctors believe Isabel's paralysis was caused by a virus or her immune system's response to the infection.
The Centers for Disease Control and other groups are trying to identify what the precise cause is.
Akron Children sent samples of blood, nose swabs, and spinal fluid to the CDC. The hope is that will determine what type of virus caused Isabel's condition and figure out treatments or ways to prevent it. Since 2014, the CDC has been investigating hundreds of similar cases where kids have been partially paralyzed. AFM has been called a polio-like condition, but specimens have tested negative for the polio virus.
This is a bad dream.
But the Kirbys are grateful for a lot of support. Their church, St. Francis Xavier in Medina, started a prayer chain, and parishioners continue to bring them meals.
It's just amazing to see how many people are reaching out.
There you go. Good.
Reaching out to a teen who continues to show remarkable courage.
Good.
It's a lot, but I just try to go with the flow. Yeah. Just try to push through.
In Akron, Bob Jones, News 5.
Now, the family has set up a GoFundMe campaign for Isabel. If you would like to help, you can go to GoFundMe.com and research for Izzy's Angels. And Haley Robick, the daughter of University of Kentucky assistant basketball coach John Robrick, is reaching out through social media to find a liver donor. Robrick says she is battling liver cancer, and she posted on Instagram that she has been battling the illness over the past couple months. She encourages anyone who could be a match for herself or others in need to sign up on the Living Donor registration site. Members of the sports community have come together to share Haley's message, including UK men's basketball head coach John Calipari. And a fire destroyed a home in Pike County last week. It happened in the city of Coal Run. Now the family that lived in the home are thankful only items were destroyed and no one was hurt. However, as news broke about the fire, Corbin Bentley says after he found out his stepfather was okay, he was immediately worried about another important family member.
My first instinct was to ask if my stepfather was okay, and he was. Next question was if my animals were okay.
Luckily, his cat, Nano, escaped the fire and after being missing overnight and is safe. The cause of the fire is unknown at this time, and Corbin Bentley's stepfather was still living in that home. We have information on how you can help his family on our website at WYMT.com. And a West Virginia firefighter has died after his volunteer fire department's truck crashed while responding to an emergency call. Officials with the city of Spencer say Mark Horwich was killed Saturday. His fire truck went off a narrow road en route to a structure fire in Rowan County. Horwich was a member of the Clover Volunteer Fire Department. The Rowan County Sheriff's Office is investigating the accident, which closed the road for several hours. And the Letcher County Sheriff's Office is working to get those struggling with addiction into rehab and recovery. In 2019 alone, the Sheriff's Office worked with Michael Clark, Judge Jimmy Kraft, and Judge Kevin Mullins to get 256 people from the county to help they need. One woman was arrested in 2018, pregnant and addicted to meth. WYMT's Emily Bennett talked to her about how she turned her life around.
The moment of realization.
I just felt like that I was at the end of my road, that this was going to be it.
Allison Rose thought all hope was lost.
It turned my world upside down. I no longer functioned as a mother, as a daughter. It was all about the meth.
The addiction started years ago.
Drinking, smoking marijuana, and then later on I had to have back surgery. So there came the opiates, and it just progressed from there.
Turning into meth use.
It wasn't something that I enjoyed. I mean, you know, being paranoid, just everything that comes with meth abuse, it wasn't fun.
Using to numb herself to the pain of the reality. Her being absent from her children's lives and putting her unborn child in danger.
As long as I was using it, I really wasn't thinking about them or what they were doing. I was not thinking at all.
She was arrested in late June of 2018.
That day was my saving grace. I mean, that changed everything.
Judge Kevin Mullins helping her to be placed into Karen's Place, an addiction treatment facility for soon-to-be mothers.
Ark and God just brought me from the pits of hell and brought me to where I'm at today.
It was there she learned about recovery, how to break the chains of addiction, and had her healthy baby girl, Kaylee. In Christmas of 2018, she was able to come home and surprise her children.
Hi, baby.
Now, 18 months later, she's working with Addiction Recovery Care, the organization that saved her life.
If you come out of treatment and you don't have nobody to support you, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to make it.
Now offering hope to those in the place she was just months ago.
You're never too far gone for God to forgive you and love you, for one thing. And as long as you're breathing, there's hope.
In Letcher County, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, even if you are not in legal trouble, Judge Mullins and Michael Clark will help you get treatment and even transport you to a rehab facility. And one West Virginia animal shelter is asking for donations to help cover the medical expenses of a dog they found in near-death condition this past weekend. The Huntington Cable Wayne Animal Shelter is caring for the dog after she was found Friday night lying next to a dumpster and starving to death. We do have a photo of the dog, but warn it could be distressing for some viewers. Shelter officials say they believe the dog is around 8 years old and while originally not expected to survive, they say she is now eating and responding more, but still cannot stand up on her own. Officials say she has a long road to recovery and will need to be hospitalized until she is stronger. The shelter is looking for donations to help cover medical expenses, and you can donate through their Facebook page. An official from the Kentucky Humane Society says they received another surviving horse from the strip job in Floyd County, where other horses were found shot. The horse was captured by Dumas Rescue, and Dumas Rescue is a local rescue facility in eastern Kentucky that is working to capture the remaining horses from the herd. They were about to capture the last 2 survivors from the herd on Saturday when someone shot an automatic rifle in the distance that spooked the horses. And officials with the historic Battle of Middle Creek hosted a commemoration and old Christmas ceremony yesterday. On January 10th, 1862, the Battle of Middle Creek began in Floyd County. Middle Creek serves as eastern Kentucky's largest Civil War battle. After the commemoration, many dressed in time period appropriate attire met at the Samuel May House for Old Christmas. Sam Hatcher says it is important to keep the memory of Old Christmas alive.
Continues our Appalachian East Kentucky tradition. Sort of in a way goes counter to your stereotypes of your East Kentucky hillbilly.
Old Christmas was typically celebrated on the 10th of January, and for around 10 years the ceremony has been held in the historic May House in downtown Prestonsburg. The 400-acre farm played a big role in the battle. And coming up, the Golden Globes has decided to move a different direction with next year's host, replacing provocative comedian Ricky Gervais.
The record-breaking temperatures we had this weekend are gone, at least for a little bit, but the unseasonably warm conditions will hang around a little longer. I'll tell you how much longer in about 3 minutes.